Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today.
And she goes on, and she says, over 50% of the natives had a good experience. And many others who had, well, if they wanted extra money for the money that was given to them, they had to lie sometimes, lie that they were abused sexually, another $50,000. So it's kind of hard if you're poor not to lie. But all of the ones I met, they always said they liked the residential schools. There's a few that had bad treatment, but some who were sexually abused, it was not by a priest or a nun, it was by a layman, a night watchman.
That is Winnipeg priest, Father Rael Forrest, talking about how natives lied because they're poor to try and get more money. So, because of the abuses that totally didn't happen at residential schools. And so, of course, he's another one of those guys who's talking about the good done at residential schools. But already, it's very telling that this man still refers to natives and indigenous people and First Nations as Indians. That says everything you need to know about this man and his view towards these people. And again, we have actual evidence of this. It's why the Truth and Reconciliation Commission was a thing, because we know these horrors happened under the watch of both the federal government and numerous churches. But no, it's a giant conspiracy from natives to try and rob the Catholics because they're so poor, so they're just trying to get free money. That's totally not a racist native stereotype, right? And in case we weren't already convinced of how terrible and how much of a scumbag this priest is, in another mass, Forrest described passing by another local church that had been vandalized. Because, again, a lot of churches had been vandalized given the mass amount of unmarked graves that are being found on residential schools across the country. And so photos from early July showed the words "Save Our Children" spray painted in orange on Precious Blood Roman Catholic Church in Winnipeg, an apparent reference to children forced to attend residential schools. Here's what Mr. Forrest had to say about that. As I'm passing by, thoughts of anger. If I had a shotgun at night and I'd see them, I'd go boom, just to scare them. And if they don't run away, I'll shoot them, Forrest said in the July 18th sermon, laughing. Now, he did apparently backtrack, saying, "But this would not help. It's bad to do that. I'd go have a chat with them." He went on to blame the media for making the vandals believe the Catholic Church killed residential school children. Dude, the Catholic Church did that, though. We have evidence of this. And yeah, it's also just really bad in terms of backtracking. No, I wouldn't actually sue them. That, for legal purposes, that was a joke. I think Jeff Bezos totally should have just stayed up in space as a joke, right? Steven Crowder deserves to be thrown into a boiling pit of lava in Minecraft. But, to bring it back to this absolute scumbag priest, I'm so angered at the vandalism of a church that I would briefly consider shooting the vandals rather than think about why they're vandalizing. It's not like they're even saying stuff like, "Catholicism bad, God is fake, you all deserve to die." It's saying and bringing attention to the fact that the church is complicit in the genocide of Indigenous people here in Canada. But the priest doesn't see that. He doesn't want to recognize that. He doesn't want to actually sit with the guilt and the discomfort from that. He's no different in many ways than that other preacher I talked about, however long ago it was now, who said, "Oh, well, we're not allowed to talk about the good done in residential schools." Because, here's the thing, guys. If there was any amount of good done at residential schools, it absolutely pales in comparison to the outright abuse and genocide and the unspeakable horrors that were committed there. That's like saying, hey, you know what? Auschwitz had sunny days sometimes, so it was fine to be outside once in a while. There is actually nothing objectively good to say about this entire system and what happened. All you are doing is trying to redirect guilt and blame instead of sitting with it and realizing that you were part of something horrible. And of course, he and other preachers like that one in Mississauga are not going to sit with it because they can't. either because of their own guilt or because they are thinking of different things, such as trying to save the Catholic Church and make their flock feel better and not guilty about the objectively terrible things that the church has participated in. I really don't think that a man who still refers to Indigenous people and First Nations as Indians and wants to speak of the good done at residential schools in a condescending tone and make jokes about shooting church vandals is really going to actually take the time to sit with himself and his self-professed religion of love and forgiveness, to look hard and deep within himself and actually do some real soul searching. I don't think he and many other Catholics are going or are even capable of doing that. And that is what's bothering me today.